Hello, fellow humans. It's Deborah here from Unfurl, and I'm really excited because this is episode 1 in a series that is exploring empowerment. I was given a nudge in about October 2024 to make myself present for some wisdom from the divine, and here we are now in March of 2025, and now's the time. So I was really thrilled that empowerment was where things were being kicked off, because it feels like such an important topic to be exploring. And it actually all started for me, the really strong sense of the divine wanting us to be empowered, when I was channeling for this book. This is a book that I've co-authored and it is available on Amazon. I will leave a link. So whenever I was channeling for my chapter, there's 14 topics explored by each of us in our chapters, and it didn't matter what the topic was that I was exploring on any day. I always had this real sense from Spirit that they really wanted to just encourage humanity to step up and feel empowered and shake off anything that was preventing that, essentially. And I loved that because I could really feel that that was important. And this is a really big year. Like every year just unfolds into something more remarkable. And I have some views on what those are. I'm not going to explore those today, but I know that it was really important to step up and to serve in this way. So here I am. So thank you for being with me. Thank you for the divine being here with us. And when I listen back, this is as much for me to think about as it is for anyone else who comes into contact with it. Now, I have tried over a couple of days to record this succinctly because there's an awful lot that has been wanting to come through. So I know that there's room for the other stuff in future episodes. But what's really beautiful is that there was a lovely image that came from the information that I received, and so I am going to be sharing this image at the end. So for people who are less into audio and more into visual stuff, there's a visual there as well to prompt whatever has resonated. Now, of course, you have free will, so whatever resonates with you, great, and whatever doesn't, great, just leave it. No offense taken whatsoever. I'm just here serving and offering the wisdom that I've received. So, empowerment. So when I was first feeling into what is it that we need to understand about empowerment, the word intention dropped in, and being very intentional in our approach to things. And that makes a lot of sense. Now, I explored the meaning of intention, and that took me on a wee journey. So intention is really being focused and taking steps towards something that we want. A want is something that we are wishing for. Something we wish for comes about as something that we desire, and a desire is driven by what we feel. So anything that's intentional has to be informed by understanding how we feel, which I think is wonderful. So that is, to my mind and through my own experience, knowing how we feel, who we are authentically, what that feels like, and then what it feels like when there's something that doesn't belong. So what I'm finding is the more I am healing and opening up as a spiritual being, I've always been sensitive and intuitive, but that's all on steroids now, and I'm feeling the common collective experience, and having to become very discerning about what's mine and what isn't, but it comes from knowing who you are first, and that's why knowing who you are and being empowered by that is so critical. Now, I've had 3 occasions in my adult life where I have been really squeezed and had a breakdown of sorts, and it took the 3rd one for me to actually go, okay, what is this all about? I feel like I was doing something that felt valuable to humanity, so why is it not, why is the journey not really going that way? And that led to some really big changes happening in not just my life but my family's life in the last decade. And I'm not suggesting that everyone has to make huge sweeping changes, but what I am suggesting is that the more we bury stuff, the bigger it gets. So if we can deal with things sort of sooner rather than later, when they're coming up and being present, that can be really helpful. So there's never a wrong time to start if this isn't something that you've explored before, and there's never a wrong time to get better at something if this is something you've been working on, just like me. And so I'm so appreciative to receive this prompt and this wisdom so that I can continue my journey exploring who am I in my inner world and be empowered by knowing myself. And so creating space is crucial, and it could be intentionally not filling an evening with scrolling on your phone, for example. I know scrolling has a purpose. I know that scrolling is a way to tune out and feel relaxed, and that's fine. That has a place. But when it's becoming a tactic for avoidance of something, that's when it's not so healthy. So see where in your life you can create space to become intentional, and with looking at how do I feel, and then that space allows contemplation. And in that contemplation, you might find that quite confronting. You might find that you feel a bit vulnerable doing that. So I really implore you to really parent yourself through that. So imagine your masculine and feminine parts inside of you being the most amazing parents that you know, that are yours, and have them nurture you through that, and remembering that you have a lifetime to explore this stuff. You don't have to solve it all next week, right? But it's making a start that's really, really important. And then what comes with that is starting to feel a sense of self-responsibility, and it's really important to do that because no one else understands us better than we do, and we're only going to understand ourselves better and better as we take the time to do that and put ourselves first. And I know that that's also a big deal for many of us who have been programmed to put everyone else first because that's what we should be doing. I'm going to suggest that actually you're the most important thing in your life, and time for you, understanding you, operating from a point of empowerment in a full cup is crucial. And for me, what I've experienced on the other side of empowerment is a sense of complete liberation and freedom, and it's been amazing, really, truly amazing. And that's what drives me, in fact, these days, is I've always had this desire to be free and to be liberated from all kinds of things. One of those things is myself and any of the heaviness that I carry, and understanding what that is, and then being able to integrate it, because it all serves a purpose. It is all a gift teaching us something. And this is why I believe that our shadow side, if you like, and our lighter side, so the stuff that's, I guess, less pleasant and the stuff that's more pleasant, they have a role together. One highlights the other. They work together and both give us gifts. And that's something that I feel is part of what being human is about. So I'm not denying myself that and trying to live in rainbows and unicorns every day, but actually just tread a bit more lightly with myself and understand myself. So I know that sounds really simple and straightforward, and it kind of is, but I also know that this process takes us into unexpected places, because that's been my experience. And it might be something you do a little bit, take a breath, come back to it, process it, and basically just chip away at it. That's the important part, is ignoring it. That the time for that has come to an end. We're not ignoring anymore. We're being true to our authentic selves and wanting deeply to embody everything we are within us. And now's the time. I want to live and thrive, knowing myself better, and therefore also understanding things that are around me better as well, because that's the flow-on effect. And I want to be surrounded by people who are also standing fully in their authenticity and feeling empowered and amazing, because you are, I am, we are. I hope that has landed in your heart. And if you have some thoughts, if you have a question of a general nature that you might like to pose for future channeling and consideration as these episodes unfurl, as we continue to look at empowerment, then please feel free to share them in the chat. Contact me through Facebook Messenger or contact me via email, whatever feels right for you. So until next time, I am just sending you a huge amount of encouragement and a huge amount of grace and a huge amount of love, and implore you to remember a time where you got yourself through something that was really hard. So you know what you're made of already. You know you're made of amazing, amazing stuff, and you can do these things and feel that liberation and freedom of what it's like to feel increasingly more empowered in your own divine amazingness, your own uniqueness. So until episode 2, I'll leave it there, and I look forward to hearing from you in the meantime. So bye for now, fellow humans. Travel well.